Hi, I'm Davy, and I'm awesome! And welcome to Davy's Awesome Movies, where I review the styles of movies that I love, the alternative, B-rated, cult-style flicks. And this movie was written and directed by the father of alternative, B-rated, cult flicks. This is an old movie. This movie was made in 1954. And it was written, directed, and produced by Edward D. Wood, Jr. Ed Wood. It was co-written by Alex Gordon. Distributed by Halco Productions, Inc. and Something Weird Video. Ladies and gentlemen, Jailbait. Originally titled Hidden Face. The movie opens with a Marilyn Gregor, played by Dolores Fuller, former girlfriend of Ed Wood, bailing out her brother, Don. What is he being held for? Well, he was carrying a concealed weapon in California.
Your brother had no license to carry that gun, Miss Gregor. It's against the law.
As he's being released...
How about my gun?
I think we'll hold on to that for a little while.
Yeah, if they arrested you for carrying a concealed weapon, they don't give it back. It's kind of like the same thing as like when you get busted with heroin or something. They don't just go, okay, you've been bailed out, here's your heroin. The Inspector Johns, which makes me wonder if he got that name by doing it, thinks that Don must be in league with Vic Brady, a known gangster. But can't understand it because Don's father is a good man and a good doctor.
How can a great doctor have such a jerk for a son?
Because most do. How? Because he was a doctor, he made a lot of money, and he spoiled the crap out of his kids like the rest of them do. That's why. Marilyn takes Don home, and they have a little chat.
I wonder if you realize how proud Father would be of you if he knew.
I mean, how proud could you be of a son who was in this movie?
Do you know what it would do to him?
I'll tell you what I would do if my son were in a movie like this. I'd look him straight in the face and say, son, I'm gonna review this.
Why are you taking that gun?
And is that guitar riff gonna play throughout this whole movie?
You know that gun is jailbait.
Ah! She said it! Although kinda, because she thought the name of the movie was gonna be Hidden Face. So... Dr. Gregor comes home and talks to Marilyn about his son Don. Marilyn tells her father that the guy that Don is running around with, Vic Brady, is going to get him into some serious trouble.
Perhaps.
You know, you seem awfully okay with the fact that your son is running around with a gangster and becoming a criminal. Which might answer the inspector's question earlier. Don goes to meet up with Vic Brady.
You ain't gonna chicken out on me, are you?
No, it isn't that.
But because of all the police harassment Don's been getting that night, he doesn't want to go with Brady to rob the payroll of a theater company.
There's 20 grand in that payroll, and I want my cut.
To be fair, 20 grand was a lot of money back then. About the equivalent of 200,000. And 20 grand was actually about the budget of this movie. Is that how you got it? They head over to rob the place, and everything is going smoothly. The guard is complying, and they're getting into the safe. But then something unexpected happens.
I'm through for the night, Mac. I'll be on my...
Vic goes after her, whereas Don... Now the girl. Oh, the acting! Don and Vic get away, and we find out that the girl is still alive.
Put her down here.
Yeah, never mind with all that putting her in an ambulance and taking her to the hospital thing. We got a perfectly good couch right here. The inspector asks how she's doing.
Fainted. Just a flesh wound. More shock than anything.
I can imagine. Personally, I'm shocked that that guitar riff is still going. A day later, the girl that was shot, Miss Willis, makes a positive ID of both of the men.
I wasn't very brave. I fainted early in the game.
You know, you look really good for somebody who was shot a day ago. Don goes to talk to his father, Dr. Gregor, about what happened the night before. He's distraught.
I couldn't think straight.
Of course you can't. Who could think straight with that guitar riff still playing in the background? He confesses to his father that he did in fact kill a man, and it's tearing him up inside. His father tells him, though, he needs to go turn himself into the police. He says if he does that, he will stand by him. But if he doesn't...
I'll do everything in my power to see that you're apprehended.
Don promises to do just that, but he needs to take care of a few things first. Not a good idea.
Hold it.
Vic needs to take care of something too. Don tells Vic that he is going to turn himself in. Not a good thing to tell your partner in crime.
You pulled the trigger, not me. You're the cop killer.
Yeah, you did it. You killed him, not me. My acting is so good. Don tells him, though, that they've already been identified. He even hears something about it on the radio, and he goes to turn it up.
The two men have been identified by eyewitnesses as being Vic Brady, a petty gangster, and Don Gregor.
That was a very conveniently timed radio broadcast. Don gets up to leave, though. And just in case you didn't understand how low budget this movie really was.
Where are you going with him?
Get him out of the way for the time being.
They could not afford blood or bullet holes. The bullet hole effect I get, but blood, come on. Corn syrup and red food coloring. Not that difficult. But see, they couldn't even afford a door. Vic's girlfriend Loretta has a complaint. Of course she does.
I don't like dead men cluttering up my place.
Well, no one likes clutter, but you know, hey, she even starts threatening to leave.
I didn't set you up in all this luxury just to have you walk out on me.
Luxury? That's luxury? She doesn't even have a door! She says she was just angry. She's not going to leave, of course. She loves him. She's so devoted to him. But then she brings up a good point.
Glad your place is in their files.
Which gives Vic an idea. The wheels start turning. He starts thinking, and it comes to him.
My face.
Vic calls Dr. Gregor and tells him to come over to his place to meet with him. At Dr. Gregor's home, though, Marilyn is there, and she thinks they should just call the police.
No, Brady says he'll kill Don if we notify the police.
Yeah. So Dr. Gregor and Marilyn go to Vic's house. Gotta say, I think it's a little bit irresponsible that you know how dangerous this is and you would take your daughter with you, but okay.
You're gonna give me a completely new face.
Good plan. However, he is worried about being put to sleep for the surgery.
One false move and you let him have it. Get me?
Dr. Gregor goes into the kitchen to get some water. And in the living room, Loretta and Marilyn are talking, and Marilyn says, "How could you love Vic Brady, a man so cheap?"
Take a look at this place, sweetheart. Does this stuff look cheap to you?
Yes? Now over to Dr. Gregor, who's getting the water. How did that curtain hold the body up in the first place? Why did that body fall out all of a sudden? Why is that guitar riff still playing?
So where will it all end?
I've been asking myself that since the movie started. Dr. Gregor comes out as if nothing happened.
Remember your son's life.
Yes, my son's life.
And goes over and does the surgery on Vic Brady.
I want you to be sure and tell him to come to my home in 2 weeks. We will remove the bandages.
You know, in real life, to change your face isn't done in 2 weeks in one surgery. It actually takes multiple surgeries and multiple weeks of healing. But hey, let's not let a silly little thing like reality get in the way of a bad movie, shall we? 2 weeks later...
Let's get these Christmas wrappings off and see the presents you gave me.
But Dr. Gregor invited some other guests.
The cops.
Halsey, take it easy, Brady.
But Dr. Gregor tells them it's not Vic Brady under there. He even starts to cut off the bandages.
You see, Inspector? That is not Vic Brady.
The inspector brought Miss Willis. It's a little irresponsible, don't you think?
That's the man that killed Matt.
Turns out Dr. Gregor had a surprise for Vic.
Perhaps you'd better take a look yourself first.
He turned Vic into Dawn! That's not actually possible! Vic, or, I'm sorry, Dawn, makes a run for it. Wow. How many actors can look back and say, I died badly in a movie twice? That guitar riff is still going! There you have it! That's Jailbait. This was the second movie from Ed Wood, right after Glen or Glenda, before Bride of the Monster. Originally, the part of Dr. Gregor was supposed to be played by Bela Lugosi, but he had other commitments. This movie was low budget, even for its time. It was made for $22,000. Granted, around that time, that would be the equivalent of about $200,000 today, but still not much to make a movie with, even back then. Now, Ed Wood's movies have kind of all lived in some form of infamy and cult status. Not really this one. This one doesn't have a big cult following. Most people who watch it kind of just watch it for the same reason I did, which is to say they watched all of Ed Wood's movies. But it's definitely not one of his more known movies. Granted, while he was alive, there was no such thing as a well-known Ed movie. One sad fact is the actor Herbert Rawlinson, the one who played Dr. Gregor, actually had terminal lung cancer while filming this. If you pay attention, you can actually see him struggling for breath in several scenes. And as luck would have it, he died the day after he shot his final scene. So at least he can say he got a movie out of the way before he died. Now, like I talked about, among all the popular cult movies that Ed Wood has done, Glen or Glenda, The Bride of the Monster, Plan 9 from Outer Space, Night of the Ghouls, this is not among those ones that people look on favorably. Probably because it's not as funny and entertaining as those ones. Those ones, a lot of people watch them because they're just so bad they're good. This one, for the most part, is just bad. I would personally say I enjoyed it with the so bad it's good kind of movie, but it definitely wasn't as bad as the other movies, but definitely wasn't a good movie. It was kind of inconsistent. A lot of the script didn't make sense. Of course, it's hard to watch because the picture is very bad, and the acting is terrible. However, in my opinion, there is a difference between a straight-up bad movie and a movie that is so bad that it's good, and it does kind of lean more towards the so bad it's good. Just, again, not as much as his other movies. Like Plan 9 from Outer Space is freaking fantastic because it's so horrible. But that's why this is one of his lesser-known movies. And most Ed Wood fans do regard this as being one of his not very good movies. Then again, what is a good Ed Wood movie? Saying one of his movies is the best Ed Wood movie is along the lines of saying, hey, that's the terminal cancer patient with the most potential. But on a level, I enjoyed it, and it's very easy to find. You can find it on the YouTubes. You can find it pretty much anywhere bootlegged. And it's worth a watch, especially if you are an Ed Wood fan like I am. Just keep in mind, if you're hoping for something as entertaining as Glen or Glenda or Plan 9 from Outer Space, you're going to be a little disappointed. So there you have it. That's my movie review this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications for when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of Jailbait. Tell me which one of the Ed Wood movies is your favorite. Love you guys.